Good evening, everybody. Welcome along to this edition of SportsView on NewMedia.tv. Press the red button on the right-hand side to subscribe to our channel. And good evening, Joe. How are you?
Good, thanks, Pat. How are you?
Excellent, From good evening, Derwynne.
Hey, Pat.
You're well and summery over there. Good weather over here in Ireland, anyway. There's a bit of sunshine, so that's why there's no doom and gloom today, anyway. But we weren't on the air last week. What's the word the politician would use? I was indisposed.
You were canvassing. They speaking in the house. You were.
Yeah, you'd open the door. You'd knock at the door, and they'd open it for you and say, "Who are you? Where are you from?" I mean, if you said anything to do with, say, conservative in your case, Derwynne, bang. Anyway.
Hey, listen, we got Nigel's back. Nigel Farage is back.
I just saw that today.
Where's he running? In Clapham?
Essex somewhere.
Is it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, he'll bring excitement to the thing anyway. It looks like Britain are, I don't know how we're talking about this, but Britain are, the first official poll put Labour ahead, and but polls, as we know, are funny old things, you know. Anyway.
Yeah, they were good in the Second World War, though. They stuck up with us.
Yes. Real Madrid did the business, lads, during the week, and Carlo Ancelotti must be regarded as a modern genius as regards soccer management. I mean, he in my opinion, it's only my opinion, he's head and shoulders over what we've got over this neck of the woods anyway, because what I mean by that is this, not because Real Madrid are winning, but there are no prima donnas in that Real Madrid side, unlike other football clubs and football teams. And that's due to the capacity for Ancelotti to manage the team, you know, to manage them. For instance, Jude Bellingham seamlessly into Real Madrid, no problem. And a fantastic, exciting prospect. Mbappe is coming there. I know how he'll fit in as well. He won't be the main man in Real Madrid. He'll be just another member of Ancelotti's team, in my opinion. Joe, what do you think?
Oh, yeah, I don't disagree with you. I mean, his record speaks for itself. He's won more as an individual player and as a coach. He's won more than anybody else in terms of European Cups, Champions League. So there's no doubt about that. I mean, to be very honest, in the first half, Dortmund were the better team. And to be honest, if Dortmund had gone in at halftime 3-0 up, it wouldn't have been doing a disservice to them, because they had fantastic opportunities.
Yeah.
Courtois played brilliantly. In the first half, it was Courtois and Dani Carvajal that kept Real Madrid in the game. You know, Dani Carvajal was just up and down the field. He was adding to the attack and getting back and defending and throwing himself to block crosses and stuff like that. So if it hadn't been for those two in the first half, Real would have been in trouble.
Derwynne, what do you think of Ancelotti, the great?
I got a funny feeling that the club is bigger than the players, which over here, you've definitely got the reverse of that. The players think they're bigger than the club, don't they?
Yeah, that's true. The attitude-wise, they've got it wrong. Well,
and
that's
like
why
Joe just said. I mean, I wouldn't say Real Madrid got lucky the other day, but they put their chances away, whereas Dortmund didn't, did they?
No, but I think that the belief in the team that no matter how things are going against them, they actually believe we're going to score, lads. We're definitely going to score. There's that belief ingrained in the team, and they got a superb goal. The first goal was superb in my book. An absolute superb goal, you know, worthy of winning any Champions League.
If you're Dortmund, you're going to be disappointed by that.
Yeah,
you know?
just
You got the smallest guy probably on the field at 5'5", winning a header at the front post and scoring.
Yeah.
No, it was a great header, and he's attacked the ball brilliantly. But from a defensive standpoint, you'd have been disappointed by that. But I think what you're talking about there, and Salai, is what he did at halftime was he righted the ship. And even though Dortmund came out in the second half and still had a say in the game, and they were still attacking and they were still trying to do their thing. But what he did was he adjusted his system because they were getting killed down down Dortmund's left-hand side.
Yeah.
So he adjusted that a little bit and just tweaked their defensive shape a little bit, and that was enough to do it. But the thing, you look sometimes and you go, is it because they're Real Madrid, or is it whatever it is? But to be very honest, what's his name? The left winger for Vinicius Jr.
Yeah.
He should have been off. He's diving right in front of the linesman, the assistant referee, and they give a free kick for it. And Matt Hummels got nowhere near him, didn't touch him. And the referee is more interested in giving the Dortmund player a booking for dissent than he was in getting the right call.
Yeah.
And that to me is...
That's a fair point, yeah.
Would they have won the game? No, probably not, because they didn't score a goal. And that's the difference. The team that scored the goals won the game. Yeah. But Vinny Jr. would not have been on to score that second goal. And now they're down to 10 men, and who knows what's
well, yeah. If they had sent him off, for instance, right. That would have been a terrible loss for Madrid. It definitely would have affected the whole team, the whole structure, the whole thing. So it's a fair point. All right. Man United, Derwynne, salvaged their season. We weren't on here last Monday, so that's what we're talking about, in winning the FA Cup. So it's a terrific win over Man City. And what about Ten Hag now, Derwynne? Do you think that he'd be there? Did it save his job?
I don't know. I can't say one way or the other, because I think if they keep him, they've got to keep him for a whole season, haven't they? There's no point keeping him and 8 weeks in and going, it's not working, you've got to go. Because then it's just back to normal again, isn't it?
Yeah, it is, yeah.
To me, if he stays, he's got to stay for a year at least, doesn't he? He's got to see the season out.
And, again, the stuff that I'm hearing, and I'm hearing a lot of noise from outside Manchester United. There's a lot of non-Manchester United fans wanting fired. There's very little noise from inside Manchester United about him getting fired. It's all everyone else. If you look at it closely, it's a lot of Liverpool fans that are after him trying to get in. There's a lot of other teams fans that are piping up on it. And let's be honest, how long did it take Klopp to win the league at Liverpool?
Yeah.
3 or 4 years, was it? I forget.
And how long did it take him to win a cup at Liverpool? Ten Hag has won 2 cups and he's been in another final.
He has, yeah. He has. That's true.
So how can you argue that the guy is not doing a decent job with it? You take the tale of two finals, right? Real Madrid had most possession in the Dortmund game. In the FA Cup final, Man City had the most possession by a long shot. But the difference in the 2 finals is that Man United took their chances when they were given them, and Dortmund weren't able to capitalize on their chances when they came. and then United defended great after that. And City were off. I mean, they were off the pace a little bit. They were doing things that you wouldn't expect from them. I mean, some of their passes are just going out of play. It's one of those things. They just had a bad day, and United. But that's cup final, or that's cup football for you.
It is, and
you hope that you have your best day, and that the big team that you're playing against has the worst day, and you might get the result.
I mean, City weren't on it, like Joe's just said. And let's face it, that first half, Man United played like a team possessed, didn't they?
They did. They played very well.
I get the feeling as well that when City are probably sitting there going, well, where's this United come from? Because we weren't ready for this.
Yeah.
And I think maybe City were a bit complacent, should we say? They probably thought they were going to win anyway, because it's, United have been terrible, haven't they?
They have, and I think that the one thing about that is Man City expected, there's some glaring mistakes in the back four for Man United all the season. They've made a couple of howlers. There was no howlers against Man City. Even the players we hadn't much time for playing in the back four for United all came up trumps in the final. And I think that augurs well for Ten Hag. I think his job is safe.
I mean, the players, if you look at the body language of the United players towards Ten Hag, they all like him.
They do.
They all respect him.
They do.
And you look at that and you go, that is not a group of players that are not playing for their coach. What happened is that injuries piled up on them, and they had 15, 16 different centre-back partnerships through the season.
They had, yeah.
I mean, that is absolutely unbelievable to do that. You're missing Luke Shaw, who's probably one of, if not the best left back in the world. And then you have Malacia, for the Dutch guy, that hasn't played all season, hasn't even trained. You got Harry Maguire out, who'd be a natural sub. You had Martinez out for the longest time, and they've still come through it. You're having to play Casemiro at centre half. And they tried to make a story about Casemiro being upset by not playing in the cup final. Well, what player, serious soccer player in their right mind, would not be disappointed to not be playing in the FA Cup final? Absolutely,
no doubt about that. So we from SportsView here, we think Ten Hag's job is safe. Klopp has gone from Liverpool, and it was a long goodbye. I mean, it was a silly way to leave any club. But anyway, that's it. I suppose all in all, he had a reasonable record. He wouldn't be up there with the greatest of managers in Liverpool, in my opinion, but he had a decent record with Liverpool, And I think the club is healthy. And if I don't know anything about the chap that's coming in, the new manager for them, the surprise to me was that Vincent Kompany has gone to Bayern Munich.
But and there you have it, right? How does a guy that just gets relegated from the Premier League into the Championship and won, what did they win? The 5 games all season or something like that, and he gets that job.
God bless his agent.
Yeah, there's no rhyme or reason to that.
Well, I feel sorry.
There's a bit of history for Kompany with Munich, isn't there?
I think he was in Germany for a while.
Yeah, and he speaks German.
Yeah, he speaks fluent German from the time he was there. Yeah.
Yeah. And I think he had something. I think he came through some of their junior ranks at Bayern Munich before he went off to the other. I think it was it Bayer Leverkusen?
Another German team. Yeah.
No, he was. I forget who he played for. He started his career in Germany, and then went somewhere else, and that's when City bought him for whatever. But I mean, you look at it. All the guys that turned that job down, the before he is offered it, and you're going.
There was a long list.
It was a long list, you know.
And I feel sorry for Harry Kane because Harry Kane left Spurs to win trophies. And the very time he joined Bayern Munich, they decided they won't win the league. This is Leverkusen won the league after Bayern winning 8 or 9 of them in a row, you know.
Right.
He's just unlucky, you know, Harry Kane I'm talking about. But anyway, Jose Mourinho's gone to... Go on.
What about Pochettino? I can't get my head around that.
Yeah, that's another one. Yeah. But
I can't understand that at all.
But the problem there is I'm reading between the lines as I'm following it and what have you. Winstanley and Stewart, they're the two guys that are running the show there, that are the general manager and whatever titles they give him now.
Yeah.
And they're the ones that are decided. And the problem with Pochettino is that Pochettino wanted more of a say in the transfer budget and what players he could sign. And these guys are going, no, this is our job. And this is like the Brighton thing again.
Yeah.
This is the way we do it. We do it on metrics and the whole thing. And this is how we're signing players. And you mind that Stewart guy came from somewhere I think in Germany. He had been in a similar role over there. So those guys don't want coaches. They have the philosophy that a coach is there to coach the players that we give him. Not that we do not give him the players that he wants, which Man City gives Guardiola the players he wants.
Well, Guardiola is a different character than Pochettino. And
yeah, but wouldn't you think Pochettino would be? Surely, I mean, that's a bit like me having the fanciest golf club in the planet, and having you two work in the shop when you've never worked in a golf shop.
Yeah,
and I could put you two in the golf shop because I trust you and I run the club. But then I'd have to be standing saying, boys, we need to stock Callaway at the moment because that's what the trend is. And next year we're going to stock TaylorMade because that's going to be
yes,
the trend next year.
Yes, I get the point.
You'd be guided by the person who's got the experience or the vision, wouldn't you? Surely Pochettino must have said to those two guys, my vision is that we're going to play an expansive, attacking, wingers, dominated, fast game of football, whatever it is. Surely they then go out and do the shopping on his criteria, no?
Well, Chelsea is in danger now, the way they're run, of becoming just a middle table club. You know, for such a club that's spent such a fortune, that's what they're in danger of becoming.
It makes you wonder how long they can hold on to players like Gallagher and
Palmer.
Well, they're talking that he's going to be sold for this financial fair play stuff. I mean, they're you know, it's but I think they have to hang on to some of them because they have to have so many British-born players or English-born players in their squads. And you know, to be honest, the guy that they've got now that came from Leicester, I mean, he did not win the crowd over at Leicester. I mean, he nearly threw the championship out the window by his refusal to adjust to what was happening with his team.
Yeah.
You know? And,
Leicester, did they give you a ring yet, Joe? Did they ring you at all, Leicester?
They did, but I said I'm not interested. I can't go back there. I'm fine where I am.
You have other commitments in your life.
Absolutely.
SportsView
That's another interesting one. Our guy, Kieran McKenna.
Yeah.
You know, I don't know about you guys, but he's done a fantastic job. Don't get me wrong. I mean, but is this going to be another Vincent Kompany? Because look at what's happened with the the 3 teams that came up last year, all 3 of them have gone back down.
They are. And, well, there's a combination. That wouldn't be down to the manager, really. That'd be down to money and the quality of the squad as well, you know.
Yeah, but I mean, look how much money Forest spent on their squad. They brought in something like 20 odd new players.
But they stayed up.
Yeah, but I mean, they just managed to stay up. So
and that there'll be a consolidation for them. But sure, look what happened, your man from Brighton when he went to Chelsea.
Graham Potter, yeah.
Well, he got retirement money out of Chelsea, but I mean, is that what he wanted?
No. I think he thought that he was building his career for the future, and I think he had his sights set probably on maybe the England job or something like that down the road with his reputation the way it was. But McKenna is the one that I worry about him because
he signed a long-term contract.
Yeah, but that doesn't keep you in a job, though.
No, not necessarily true, but it keeps him at the club for the time being.
Yes, it does. And now Ipswich are a different club because they historically have always been very, very
well run.
Their managers.
Hmm.
Yeah, they've always taken care of their managers. So, and I hope everything works out for him. But when you do something like and you've done the job that he has, and in 2 years in a row, and you're in the Premier League, that is a huge step with some of the players that he's got. Now he likes to play a little bit. They like a possession game, but they also like to counterattack at pace. And I'm just hoping that they're going to be okay. But we'll see. We'll see what happens with Leicester. There's nobody. They're not talking about anybody yet for there.
Yeah. Well, they can't get Jose Mourinho because he's gone to Turkey.
Yeah.
He's gone to Fenerbahce, so he's out of the picture. Jose, another job. I mean, I think it's a good job for him, because I mean, there's no doubt that he's a good footballing man, a good footballing brain. Now, the European Championships are starting very soon, on June the 14th, when Germany are playing Scotland in the opening game on Friday night, June the 14th, or Thursday, or whatever it is, anyway. And could England win the European Championship, Derwynne? Can England win it?
They could win it. If you looked at the squad, you'd say they've got to be one of the favourites, haven't they? They've got to be up there in the top 4. So you'd say yes, they could win it. Will they win it? I don't think so. But
well, they're in Group C with Slovenia, Denmark, Serbia, and England. Joe, what do you think?
Well, I think they can win it. I mean, they're pretty solid right throughout, and not just solid but they've got some outstanding players. When you look at the likes of Bellingham, and you look at the likes of Phil Foden and guys like that, and Cole Palmer is flying at the minute. Jack Grealish will probably find his form. He's not going to be out for too long.
Saka,
another one,
and Harry Kane up front.
Yeah,
they got Alexander Arnold out tonight. He's playing.
Yeah, and I mean he's another one. He can produce stuff from nothing. I mean, defensively and goalkeeping wise, I think they're very sound. So it just depends if they can get the right balance.
There are 6 groups, and the top 2 go forward. The top 2 teams in each group go forward with the 4 best third-place teams. So, Group A is Germany, Scotland, Hungary, and Switzerland. I think in Group A, if there's any team that can pull a surprise, it's Hungary. They're a vastly improved team. They're playing They're playing the Republic of Ireland Thursday night, I think, in the friendly in Lansdowne Road, Hungary. So we get to see them. But I think they're in Group B of Spain, Croatia, Italy, and Albania. Now, the experts are dismissing Croatia to do anything because they're an aging team and so far and all of that. They're tipping Spain and Italy to come out of that group. And I think they could be right, lads, you know. But Germany will come out of Group A, and I think it's between Hungary and Switzerland. I don't give Scotland any chance of coming out of that group. That's my opinion. For what
Well,
it's worth.
they weren't great tonight against Gibraltar.
Who?
Scotland
guess
played Gibraltar tonight.
Should
Well,
Gibraltar?
scoring that one.
I think Scotland won 2-0, but the average for a game against Gibraltar, the average score is 4-0.
Yeah. Even Ireland beat Gibraltar.
They Gibraltar held Scotland till about the 70-something minute. So you'd probably stand there and say Gibraltar probably ran out of steam, didn't they? With 20 minutes to go, and then Scotland took over. But you know, it's like England playing Bosnia tonight.
Gibraltar were between a rock and a hard place for the Derwynne.
Oh, that's shocking, isn't it? That's shocking.
We gotta get a better script writer for him.
Yeah.
That was terrible. I think old Laurel Nardi's still doing it, isn't they?
So we'll say we'll tip England to come out of Group C with either Slovenia, Denmark, or Serbia. They're pretty even, those three teams, you know.
I reckon Serbia.
Yeah. In Group D, then we have Poland, Netherlands, Austria, and France. That's a tasty group.
Yeah,
that is a very tasty group.
You know. Group E is Belgium, Slovakia, or Romania and Ukraine. I don't know about Belgium myself, but
depends if Ukraine gets some weapons from America, doesn't it?
Yeah, they're looking for the anti-tank ones. They might win. Group F is Turkey, Georgia, Portugal, and the Czech Republic. So I mean, Portugal. Derwynne, you're a good one, all right. But anyway,
sorry, I couldn't resist that one.
I know that. Yeah. But
they got a rocket launcher for free kicks.
Yes, it's on June the 14th. It's beginning with Germany and Scotland, and the pundits are predicting 5-0 for Germany in the opening match. But anyway, there you go. They're playing at home. But it's something to look forward to at the end of the month, and it'll be on for a whole month, and to run right up to the beginning of the Olympics. So we'll be in June and July. We'll be blind from sports here on this side of the world, anyway. You know, between the.
I think there's going to be some really nice games in there.
Oh yeah.
In the groups, in the group stage.
Oh, there are some tasty games, and looking forward.
Really, that group you've just talked about, that Poland, Italy.
Poland,
Italy, France.
Poland, Netherlands, Austria, and France.
Yeah.
Well, that is a tough group.
That's a group and a half, isn't it?
It is. Yes. It really is.
Yeah.
I mean, someone's good is going to miss out there, aren't they?
Yeah, they are. Yeah.
When you think about it sensibly, one good team is going to properly miss out in that group.
Yeah. You know, Serbia are, for me, a dark horse in this.
Yeah, Serbia, they're a decent team, Serbia.
Yeah.
I mean, we won't talk about It's Coming Home anymore. You know, we leave that alone, that song. I think that song is going to be resurrected.
Please leave that alone.
I would have confidence. I tell you now, if England had a manager in the mould of Carlo Ancelotti, I would be very confident. But I have no confidence in the manager of the English team. I don't think he's got what it takes to mould a winning team with England. With the talent he has, when he simply couldn't win it at home, you know, really, I don't know why he's manager. Just my own opinion. I'd never had much time for him anyway, you know. I think he's a clown.
I think sometimes he, do you know, they before the game tonight, they've done a big interview with him at St George's Park, and the girls asking him questions, and he's very guarded, isn't he, and defensive, and he's very, he's like a safe bet, isn't he? All the time, he'll always go for the safe answer. Nothing out there. And I think when they played that Euro final at Wembley, he just got all of that tactics wrong. Instead of just going out there and let's go and win it from the kickoff.
They should bring in Will Smith to give him a good slap to wake him up, you know.
I just think he's nearly, if he was a golfer, you'd say he overthinks everything, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Does that make sense, Joe, as a pro footballer?
Yeah. I mean, he is pretty conservative in the way that he in everything he does, the way he speaks, the way his team plays, the way he plays as a player. You know, he was very defensive minded. Wasn't great on the ball, but did his work, covered people well, read the game well. It's really going to be interesting. But I still think that there's so much pressure put on those guys for absolutely no reason, and this whole bringing it home and what have you. Well, let's be honest, the World Cup is not English, and it never has been, right? The first games that were played in South America.
Yeah.
I think, was it in Uruguay they played the first match?
Uruguay, I think.
Chile.
Yeah.
Chile
So,
or Uruguay.
I don't know what to bring it home is. It's coming home. And the same thing with the European Championships. Until Southgate got there, what's the furthest they've been to a semi-final?
Yeah, with Venables.
Well, England qualified because they were the host nation.
Right. But let's be honest, they did the same in the 66 World Cup.
Yeah.
And, we're talking there a little bit. It all depends, because even Alf Ramsey didn't have his number one team that he would have gone for in the beginning. And Bobby Moore would have not been the captain if Jimmy Armfield had been fit. Jimmy Armfield was the captain of England.
Yes. Oh, yeah. You're right.
Injured, leading up to it.
Greaves would have been up front without, and you wouldn't have had Hurst, would you?
Yeah. And so the players that they had leading up to it, and you look at the players that were in the squad as well, the likes of Terry Payne at Southampton and what have you. So many different guys. George Coyne.
Yeah.
Because Jimmy Armfield is out, so it was just a whole kind of the balance of the team. They got it right as they went through it, as they went through the games, and it ended up well for them. And I think that in a tournament, you got to be cagey in a tournament, because you're not going to win the tournament in the first game, but you can certainly lose it, and you can be out of it by having a very bad result that puts you in a position that now you have to face possibly. I don't know what the brackets look like, but if England get a bad result in the first game and say they lose.
Yeah, they have their 3 group games are in 3 different cities.
Yeah. But they could be looking at, playing the number one team. They could be looking at playing Germany as a number one team. They could possibly be looking at playing Portugal as a number one team, or Belgium as a number one team. So you have to make sure as you're going and just, get your results and then adjust what you want to do as you're making your way through it.
I think the way it is structured, I didn't go down the next page. England could be playing France or the Netherlands.
Yeah.
So you could be out after the group stage. You could be out, gone straight away, couldn't you?
The last 16.
And I think Southgate's got. I think Southgate has got. He's got too many good players in certain positions, hasn't he? Because if you think about the middle of the park, he's got Mainu to choose, Declan Rice, Alexander-Arnold,
Will Foden.
Foden. I mean,
And he's got, what's his name, from Tottenham.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
from
he's got
Madison.
Conor Gallagher as well.
Yeah, he's got Gallagher. Yeah.
I mean, you're sitting there and you kind of go, well, that's 6 players. And does he go with 4 through the middle, or does he go with 3 through the middle? I mean, there's good players missing out all the time, isn't they?
Well,
yeah.
I mean, as I said to you, with the potential squad England has, the weak link is the manager, in my opinion, and I don't want to be going on about him. You know, he has a job too, but I think
the goalkeeper's a weak link.
I think the lack of ambition by the English FA is astounding with the talent they have. That's my opinion on the manager. Yeah,
I mean, he says all the right things. He's not a guy that's going to be controversial in any way.
Nah.
So he suits the suits, if you like.
He suits the establishment, doesn't he?
Yeah, he does. And he's one of them. And
he's not out drinking, is he? He's not out chasing women, having affairs, not caught speeding. He's pretty boring, really, isn't he?
Well, I mean, that gives you. That's the impression that you get about him.
Yeah.
Looking at him.
Why, do you know if he's out chasing women, Joe? Come on, give us an insider. Give us a scoop.
We'll send Gareth to SportsView is the program on nearmedia.tv on Monday, the 3rd of June, 2024. My goodness me, the year is flying. We're going to send Gareth Southgate a few phone numbers after the show. Don't worry, Gareth. We'll put a smile on your face. Come over to Ireland for a weekend. Now we're going to move on to.
I'm going to visit the MP. Listen to the MP there.
We'll give him a nice feed of liver and chips over here in Limerick.
There you go.
And tell you, he'll be quiet after that.
We'll the donkey Fords.
Yes, right. Yeah. He'll be smiling after that.
Yeah, he will.
Yeah, do you come here often? But Munster in the United Rugby Championship, it's come to an end. Their matches are all over. Munster had a good win in Thomond Park under the summer sun against Ulster, which meant they topped the United Rugby Championship, and they'll be playing Ospreys now in the quarter-final. They're the final 8. And in the Premiership Cross Channel, Bath will meet Northampton for the rugby final over there. And Owen Farrell played his last game for Saracens in the semi-final, which he lost. And he's on his way over now to Racing 92. I think Owen Farrell has been a fantastic player. I think Owen Farrell has been much maligned in some media terms, but I think that, I think he's been a fantastic player for a long time now with England. And they'll miss him. He'll be missed. Dupont lined out for the France Sevens over the weekend, and they won against the favourites Argentina in the tournament there. So they'll be at the Olympics in the Sevens, and they just looked fabulous. Of course, I love the French Sevens. I think they're just phenomenal myself. But anyway, they looked unreal. Now we had the death of what's his name, Rob Burrows over the weekend at the age of 41 with that awful disease, motor neuron disease, and he was instrumental with others in raising £15 million sterling for the motor neuron disease organisation. And here he is talking.
Hello, I'm Robert, ex-Leeds Rhinos rugby player. I wanted to do a book about friendship and how important friendship is at times of need.
Hi, Kevin Sinfield here. I'm delighted to tell you about our new book, With You Every Step. I believe the connections and interactions we have with people, especially our friends and family, are the most valuable things in life.
I am a sufferer from motor neuron disease and I have to have 24 hour help. I've got the support of my friends and that means so much more to me, especially my great friend Kevin Sinfield. I don't think I could go without the love and care of my family and friends.
To create a book based around friendship with Rob is something that I am very excited about, and I'm also very proud. Rob has been a great friend ever since we first met as boys, and through sport our friendship has grown and grown. So to get to work on something like this together is very special. I hope it will help many parents, not just fathers, connect with their children and provide an insight into what true friendship is. Rob is a wonderful, caring man, and his courage and determination has inspired me to try and be a better friend and a better human being.
It is important to have friends and colleagues that you can love. It means the world to me to know I have my friends when I need them most. I know I have people who really care for me.
I'm thrilled to be working with Macmillan Children's Books on this, and I hope children and adults across the world get to experience the friendship that both Rob and I share. Thank you for all your support, and I really hope you love With You Every Step.
Thank you for your support.
That was the late Rob Burrow there, and as I said, he just 41, and motor neuron disease took him, and his book there, as I said. But I mean, it was a commiserate RIP to his sympathy to his wife and kids, and yes, on him, the poor man. But an inspiration. And he did so much positive work even when he was struck down with it, you know. And it's a awful disease. I mean, I know a few people with it, and it's just, I know some people are living longer, but it is a very challenging disease to have. And anyway, that was the late Rob Burrows. SportsView is the program on airmedia.tv. Tell all your friends about us. Press the red button on the right hand side to subscribe to our channel. We'd very much appreciate it. Over the weekend, the Women's Open Golf Championship was held in the United States, and Nelly Corda missed the cut. She had won 6 out of the last 7 tournaments she entered, and she was in fly form. But the short par 3 around water there, when she took 10 plus 7, 10 shots to get the ball in the hole at the short par 3. In the first round, which she shot an 80. And she missed the cut anyway. And as our own Leona Maguire missed the cut by 2 shots as well. But the Women's Open was won by Yuka Sato from Japan at 4 under. He was only one of 2 golfers that went under par for the whole tournament. And her compatriot was the other one. She finished at 1 under. But she shot rounds of 68, 71, 69, and 68. I don't know about this. It was 6,629 yards. Is that a long course for the ladies?
That's about average for the ladies.
It was a par 72 anyway.
Yeah, it's about average for them. But they drew the rough up, didn't they, for it? So, I mean, they made it a proper US Open course.
They did, yeah. I watched some of it, yeah. And there you go. The leading European golfers to finish in the US Open ladies was Siganda from Spain and Charlie Hull. They both finished at +6 down the field. So, as I said, there's only 2 golfers under par for the whole tournament, which I like to see. I mean, we remarked here, we're looking at tournaments every week, -22 and -24. I mean, really, they're like pitch and putt courses, you know. Anyway, they were the Women's Open, the first of the big ones of the ladies this year. In the European Open, Laurie Cantor won that at -15. And he had 68, 66, 75, and 72. That was 7,862 yards long, par 72. You know? So, I mean, there's nearly 8,000. Jesus, I mean, tell you. It makes your eye watering.
I mean, it's amazing when you think about some of the tournaments that have been played in the last 50 years. You know, a long golf course would have been, the longest golf course in Europe at one time would have been Wentworth at about 7,000 yards.
Wentworth, yeah.
And that's, you know, go back in the 60s, that would have been unheard of. That was monster. That's 1,000 yards longer than everything else.
So, yeah. When you see guys
getting up all day.
When you see guys like Bryson DeChambeau and McIlroy driving 320, 340 yards, I mean, really, it is eye-watering stuff, you know. That was the European Open, and the Canadian Open was won by Robert McIntyre. He's been knocking at the door for a while in tournaments. He's had many, he's been around, as the man said, hanging around as one commentator. If you hang around long enough playing good golf, you will get your win. And I was allowed to see him winning, and minus 16 in the Canadian Open, 64, 66, 66, and 68. Shane Lowry made the cut, and he finished at minus 4. He shot a 72 and then 368. So reasonable form.
I mean, the McIntyre story is a bit Disney, isn't it? Because he had to fly his dad over to caddy for him.
Huh?
He had to fly his dad over on the last Sunday.
Oh, did he?
His caddy walked out because they have a bit of
a
stormy relationship.
He didn't get enough haggis, no?
He literally phoned his dad on Saturday night and said the caddy's blown me out. He's packed his bags and gone. I need you to jump on a plane tomorrow morning and get to Canada. and his dad, his dad caddied for him. He didn't caddy. He just carried the bag.
Yes,
he didn't tell him what to do or anything. But
no,
it was really funny.
Well, isn't that a story? No, I didn't know that. No, isn't that a story?
Yeah. His dad is the greenkeeper on a little 9-hole golf course on Oban, and he literally had to phone the golf club and say, "I've got to get a flight to Canada. I won't be at work. It's a week's holiday. I've got to go." And he goes wins it, and McIntyre was saying today that he's going to give him the 5% cut of the winnings, and he's going to pay for the mortgage on the house. So he reckons his dad's done really well out of it.
Good. This is a great story, It's a great story. But I like McIntyre.
He did a great. His dad did a great interview on Radio 5.
Oh, did he?
Turned around and he said, "I'm a grass cutter, not a caddy."
There was a lot of grass cutters playing in the tournament. Anyway, if you only knew, yeah. But anyway, that was a great story about Robert McIntyre. As I said, I was glad to see him winning on a winning podium, and that was the golf. And of course, tennis. The second major of the year is on at the moment in Roland Garros, which is the French Open tennis, both for men and women. And just before we came on air, Novak Djokovic won an absolute cracking 5-setter. For all of you who missed it, all you tennis fans, tune into Eurosport. I know 1 or 2 in the morning where they'll repeat the match. It was a 5-setter, 4 hours and 30 plus minutes. I mean, really, it's like playing 3 or 4 football matches. That's what it was, the equivalent of the game. He's an amazing man at 37 years of age. And he injured his knee after the second set, and he had to take a medical timeout. That's Djokovic. But he's through to the quarterfinal yet again. And but I don't think he's playing his best tennis. He's not playing great tennis, in my opinion. I think that your man is looking supreme as well. Alcaraz from Spain is looking just supremely confident. He's blowing everybody away. But he's playing Stefano Tsitsipas tomorrow. That is Alcaraz. That's a tasty match to look at. But all the big guns are still in the men's side of the draw. But on the women's side, the 2 outstanding players, Iga Świątek from Poland and Ariana Sabalenka from Belarus, they're both scheduled. I think they'll meet in the final, and I think it's going to be a cracker. They're the only 2. So I was really an interesting thing there where Sabalenka beat Emma Navarro from America in the last round, in the 4th round. And I was reading about Emma Navarro. I mean, I don't know much about tennis, so you read up on someone. She's more wealthy than Federer, Nadal, or Novak Djokovic put together. She's more money. He had more money than 3 of them put together.
Wow.
I mean, you're talking about billions,
Yeah.
And
well, that's because the father, correct?
Yeah.
Daddy.
Daddy.
Is he involved in pharmaceuticals or?
He is, and a huge financial company as well, and a few more things.
That's what it was. He owns the Buffalo Bills and the I think the Buffalo Sabres also. Um,
But you know what I mean, what would motivate you to play a tennis tournament? I'm probably being unkind there. When you don't really have to get out of bed at all if you don't want to. Is
it's
that
because
wrong?
it's because she loves the sport. I read an article on her,
Yeah.
and they're talking, about her and what have you, and she said, "Yeah, everyone says, oh, it's only because your dad, you've got all this money, that this, that, and the other." But she says, "No." She says, "My dad was the hardest person that he could be on me when I was growing up. He drove me to you know, the
Practice and all of that, yeah.
practice, and you're not getting anything without earning it, and the whole thing, and that's what she's doing, So she doesn't she doesn't care about the family wealth. She has no interest in that. She's a tennis player, and she just wants to be successful playing tennis. It's I mean, sometimes when you see this, because tennis in a lot of ways
So it's
is
the same.
really,
It's the same with Jessica Pegula. Same with her.
yeah. But I
Yeah.
mean, it's the same for a lot of young kids, especially American kids. I mean, they all have to go off to California and Florida, and their parents go with them, and the amount of time they have to spend uh, practicing and what have you. It's, I mean, it's hard. It's really hard, and you can throw all the money you want at it. It's like golf. If you've got rich parents, they can throw all the money they want at it. But if you're not prepared to buckle down and do the hard work and go out and practice and do all the repetitions all the time that you need to do, then it's all the money in the world isn't going to do you any good.
No,
And
that's
and that's what motivates people. It's the love of the game itself, and the competition within the game is the thing. Because we've talked about this on the program before. I mean, I don't think there's anybody ever goes out, whether it be in a game of golf, professional game of golf, basketball, American football, ice hockey, soccer, rugby. I don't think there's ever a player that goes out there thinking about the bonus or the winning purse at the end of it.
no. I don't think so. No, there's no doubt about that.
That's not what drives them.
I
What
mean,
drives them is the
like
fact that they're out there.
no, Novak Djokovic tonight when I was watching him, he's not playing for money tonight.
No,
He was playing. He has 24 Grand Slams, and he's looking at I'll get 25.
yeah,
And
What's
as you said, he's
there's a real famous phrase, isn't there? Right? Winners win. And anybody, I'm a golf pro. He's a pro footballer. If you're not 100% competitive, you wouldn't have played pro football, and I wouldn't have played pro golf, would you?
no.
If I
no.
played you two at golf, I want to win. I know that sounds stupid, but I've got no intentions of losing to you.
And
No.
then,
And I'm sure if we played keepy up with Joe would want to do more keepy ups than us.
yeah. And if I played you at snooker, I want to beat you at snooker.
Yeah, if I played you at darts, I want to.
Yeah,
I want
whatever it is. I don't.
Hold on now, lads. Hold on now before you carry. What about rings? Do you play rings?
Yes.
I'll play the two of it. I'll play the two of you in rings.
Oh God!
So that's your game, huh?
He'll have us playing marbles next.
Yeah.
I know. Yeah.
Another one.
Just
Or
before we
conkers,
finish.
conkers.
Yeah, Conkers. Yeah. Just before we finish the European Championships, I suppose you'll have the usual suspects with Spain, England, and Portugal, France, Netherlands. They'll probably be the pick. And my outside pick to get into the quarterfinals, and it would be Hungary, but that's just me.
Yeah, but don't forget Germany. I mean, they're playing at home.
Germany, I forgot about Germany. Yeah,
So I mean,
team building.
yeah, it's. I mean, it's going to be a very good. I think it's going to be a great tournament.
Did you see the Irish women the other night playing Sweden?
I did
Anyway,
not see it. I read it. I read about it. I
you
didn't see.
didn't miss anything anyway.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I'm not an expert in soccer. I watch it. I never played it seriously. I played just Gaelic. Gaelic. I played football and hurling, but growing up, but a team. This sounds silly. A team that can't move the ball quickly from back to midfield to the forward line is doomed to failure. And the Irish team cannot move. When you look at Sweden and Ireland, their passing, the movement of the ball between Sweden and Ireland was like a junior team and a senior team to me. And that's down to coaching, Joe, isn't it?
Well, no, it's down to coaching, but it's also down to the development of the game uh, in the country that you're talking about. I mean, my wife played in college here at PLU, won 2 national championships, and her biggest regret was that she got offered a contract to go and play in Sweden.
All right.
Now that's back in the 80s,
Yeah.
So
And you said no.
yeah, I didn't say. I just keep my mouth firmly shut when she's around, and that's. But and Sweden has been a perennial, top team at the Euros and at the
World Cup, yeah.
So they're way beyond where we are developmentally in terms of their players and what have you, and where their players play a lot. Their players go to the US and play in college there.
They do.
A lot of them are throughout Europe playing on professional teams. Now, our girls are still trying to work their way towards that. So, and there's no professional league in Ireland. There's leagues that are there, but the game is not at that level. And
I agree. I mean,
it's very, very difficult for our teams. We talked about rugby, for instance.
yeah.
You have got England and France, right, in the Six Nations, 2 professional teams.
Yes.
Our girls are not.
No, because the league, even the professional league in Ireland, is just at a very embryonic stage.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
and
that's what and you can't walk before you can run, and
no, we have 2 or 3 good players. Yeah.
You have to walk before you can run. So and our girls. So if our girls were to go out and play a style of soccer, right, or football, that is long ball, and we relied on fast players up front, and then they'd say, well, you're playing Neanderthal soccer. You're not even trying to play out. Well, you know what? When you're playing against good teams,
Well, Jack Charlton taught us that lesson. That's our style. We'll keep it like that, even though we have very good players, and he got results.
Yes, he did, and there's no arguing with it. We've tried the other ways. I was part of the scene when John Giles was in charge, and we played. Teams, we had good players that could play out from the back. We had good goal scorers. We had good defenders. The whole thing, and along the line, we had some bad luck. Calls went against us and stuff like that. But Jack came in with his very, very basic style, and he said, "This is what I want to do," and that's it. And if you don't want to do it, go.
So, we're going to look for one man could make a difference. Derwynne, do you think England will win it? They have a chance, all right. No?
No, I think they've got a chance, but I don't think they'll win it.
No. And Joe?
You know what? I think they will. I do think they will. I think that they're a well-balanced squad.
My 50p is on England anyway. There's no doubt about it, because I
Bloody
like
hell.
the.
You've got an Englishman on the panel here. You're two Irishmen, and they're going for England, and I'm not.
Well,
That's
because
about
I
face.
think they have some very good players, and I think they surely be to goodness they'd have to come good sometime, you know. And I think when they're playing away from home, they're not playing at home like they were the last time, with the English press gone sycophantic about them. But I think one thing about Southgate, I mean, I must say something positive about him, you know. He doesn't be eating gobstoppers all the time, but I think Gareth Southgate will have a calming influence on them, if nothing else, you know. I think.
Yeah. I mean, that's the kind of a guy that he is. I mean, he appears that way. It'd be hard to ruffle his feathers, I think.
Oh,
Well, it's
well,
0-0 against Bosnia. And Bosnia have got 9 players that have never played together playing.
where's that being played?
Newcastle, St James's.
England and Bosnia.
Yeah.
Well, we've come to the end of another show, guys. It's on Monday, the 3rd of June, 2024. So from Derwynne, Honan, and from Joe Waters, we wish England the very best. We wish all the teams who are participating in the European Championships the very best. And I think they could do it. And we never know. But lads, good sport for the rest of the week. We'll see you next Monday. Take care.
Take care, lads. Good night.
See you, boys. See ya.